Okay, right now, let's say I have bad data. Maybe a data that for any reason is bad, like data with like bad temperature. I don't wanna like measure this data with that temperature, or maybe data that got exposed to a lot of noise. So how I can use correlation coefficient if I have a bad data. So let's see what we can do. So we're gonna use the same thing, random normal distribution numbers, but right now it's just 5 and 3. 5 rows, 3 columns. As I said, random distributed number between -3 and 3 in the form of 5 rows and 3 columns, and it's all random distribution. I'm gonna say that row number 1, column 3 equal NaN, which is like symbol for unvalid, and same thing with row number 3, column 2, also equal NaN. So I'm telling MATLAB that Zeus location has an error, which will be represented as NaN. And D, he gives me all the values, even though the one that has an error. Like if right now I just D, like if I set this clear workspace, so if we just represent, if I just have D, he's gonna give me the NaN, all the values, even if the one that has error. So how I can do that, or how I can mitigate that issue? So let's create R equal correlation coefficient, okay, with D, but right now I'm gonna use rows and complete. So rows complete, okay, if I run this, now I have R, but without any values that do have an error. So give me like 100% clear variables, and it's all like a correlation coefficient. So he gave me all the correlation coefficient matrix, but excluding any rows that has NaNs or any error by any type. Okay, so that's very important for these features. Like if you want to do this, you have to use rows and complete. Okay, what if you're on the other side? What if you wanna like see all the data with the bad data and the good data together? Because actually, in order to exclude the bad data, you have to make sure where those data do exist. That's why it's also important to use the other side. So it's basically almost the same. Let's create R1 correlation coefficient. Same sequence, it will be D, but this time rows, and I have all. So if I press run, now I have all the data, all the unvalid data in front of me. So MATLAB would give you all the value in my tables that have like bad error or bad data, invalid data. So it's very important to make sure to know the difference between rows complete, which is powerful, like if you want to just all the right data, but if you want to see also the data that is invalid, then you're going to have to use rows and all of this with correlation coefficient.